Well, this is an important topic, so we really need to cover that. So in today's conversation, I want to share with you Navy Fed $50,000 personal loan. What are the top 5 hacks to trigger instant approval? Don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sir Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you had to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, we are going to talk about the Navy Fed $50,000 personal loan. This is the maximum loan amount, and I'm going to share with you the top 5 hacks to trigger instant approval. So if you really want to be approved right away with this $50,000 personal loan, you want to learn these 5 tricks. Before I get into the 5 hacks, I want to give you an overview. What are we talking about? We are talking about the Navy Fed personal expense loan, okay? This is a loan that actually is kind of cool, and the loan amount goes from $250 to $50,000. $50,000, that's really the maximum. And you can actually use the money for anything. You can use the money for planned and unplanned expenses, and this is great for auto repairs, moving and relocating, vacations, and other major purchases, okay? And what we love with this loan is that Navy Fed is really flexible in terms of approving it. So if you have a poor credit, fair credit, good credit, or stellar credit, you can still be approved as long as you have the right relationship with Navy Fed. So if you have poor credit or fair credit, you better have a good multi-product relationship with Navy Fed, okay? And for this loan, if you want to borrow, if the terms that you choose is the terms are up to 36 months, your APR will go from 7.49% to 18%. If the terms that you choose are from 37 to 60 months, the APR is 14.79 to 18%. So the longer the maturity, the higher the APR. And then this makes sense because you could represent a higher risk for the institution. Okay, so when we talk about this Navy Fed $50,000 personal loan maximum amount, there are some permissible uses of loan proceeds. In other words, you can use the money for nearly everything. Okay, Navy Fed is really great at being flexible about the uses of loan proceeds. Okay, you can use the money for debt consolidation. You can use the money as an alternative to payday loan. In other words, if you have emergency, you can actually tap into that cash. You can use the money for home remodeling. You can use the money for a moving cost, okay? We have actually seen people using the money for pure emergency expenses, like really, really immediate expenses, appliance purchases, vehicle financing, wedding expenses, and vacation costs. So the list here is not exhaustive, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of what you can use the money for. There's literally no limit as to what you can use the money for. So it's really, really good. But the loan itself, remember, the loan amount goes from $250 to $50,000. Let me talk about the hacks. So let's just talk about the 5 hacks. Hack number 1, do not ask for too much cash, boss. Don't ask for too much cash. This is important. So requesting more money than what you need to reach your financial goal can be seen as risky by Navy Fed and make it harder to get approved. Okay, so this is important because they understand that a larger personal loan also squeezes your budget, as higher loan payments impact your ability to meet other financial obligations, such as student loans or mortgage payments or even credit card payments. So this is important to be very clear. Boss, I'm talking to you right now about not asking for too much cash. The thing is that the maximum loan amount is $50,000, but I'm not asking you to go and apply for $50,000. Do you need that? So the question is, how much do you need? So first thing, you need to be really clear about how much you need for this personal loan. Remember, the loan amount goes from $250 to $50,000. Okay, so how much do you need will depend on the expense that you want to cover, will depend on your budget. This is important. How much you're making. You telling me how much you need. I'm gonna ask you another question. How much are you making? What is your revenue, boss? Let's talk about that, because the last thing you want is to have a DTI that's very high, a debt to income ratio that is out of control. You don't want that, right? You don't want that. So the thing is, how much do you need, how much you're making, and you need to think about how long will you have to pay it back. It's important. Maturity is important. It's all about maturity, maturity, maturity. You saw earlier when I was talking to you about the APR, right? They ask you, they told you if you have up to 36 months, the APR is low, and beyond up to 36 months, the APR is low, but between 36 and 60 months, the APR is high. This makes sense, because Navy Fed is trying to cover their ass, because the longer the maturity, the higher the risk, as I said before. So how long would you have to pay it back? You need to think about how much will you pay in interest. This is important. But the big question is, can you afford the monthly payments? Because if you're telling me you want to borrow $50,000, my question to you is, can you pay it back? Can you afford the monthly payments, boss? Based on your revenue, do you have enough room in your budget to afford the monthly payment? So those are questions you need to pay attention to, okay? So when I'm telling you, hack number one, do not ask for too much cash. You want to ask for I would say a sufficient cash, sufficient loan amount that actually fits into your budget. It must fit nicely into your budget. Very important. Hack number two, you want to keep your open credit products with Navy Fed below 5. This is important. Remember, the higher the number of open credit products that you have with Navy Fed, the more they see you as a risky proposition. They see you as a risky borrower. Think about that, because Navy Fed, when we talk about Navy Fed, they offer a constellation of credit products. Right? Let's just really clarify those things. With Navy Fed, they offer what? Credit cards. They offer auto loans. They offer mortgages. They offer personal loans, which is what we're talking about today. But they also offer student loans. They offer home equity loans. They offer motorcycle, boat, and leisure vehicle loans. So this is important. So here you have a constellation of credit products. And the thing is, you need to keep your open credit products below 5. If you are above 5, Navy Fed will most likely deny your personal loan, or they'll just give you a small loan amount. This is important because they look at you and they think, oh, wow, our exposure vis-a-vis this person is too high. We can't afford that. Something happens to him or her, we just kind of toast. No, we can't afford that. So why 5? Because the more open credit products you have from NFCU, the riskier you become in the institution's eyes. And we have tested this number on several occasions, including credit products that our own team members have borrowed from Navy Fed. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that if you want to get a higher loan amount, you want to trigger instant approval for this $50,000 loan, make sure that you keep your open credit products from Navy Fed below 5. So if you have 2 credit cards, you have 1 auto loan, you have 1 home equity loan, 1 mortgage, that's fine, because you had that will be 4 credit products. Then you can actually apply for a personal loan. And the thing is that if you have more than 5 credit products, you basically want to pay down some loans. Okay, you want to pay off some loans before applying for a new loan. That's what it is. Okay, in some cases, you may have to have 2-3 open credit products, especially if the balance due on those credit products is high. So I'm talking about 5 products here, but some cases they might actually limit your credit products to 2 or 3, especially if you are carrying enough balance on those 2 or 3 credit products already, and you are seen as a riskier proposition. Hack number 3, folks. I'm still talking to you about how to actually get you want to trigger instant approval for the Navy Fed $50,000 personal loan. This is important, folks. We are talking about how to make sure that you increase your chances of giving approval for this loan. So remember the 20% rule. There is a 20% rule. It is an unwritten rule, but we have tested it with Navy Fed and Penn Fed and other institutions, and it works all the time. Make sure your monthly income is at least 5 times your total monthly payments. Let me repeat that. This is so critical, folks. Boss, I want you to listen right now. I want you to write it down. Write it down right now. You want to make sure your monthly income is at least 5 times your total monthly payments. What do I mean by that? Let me just break it down for you. For example, if your monthly payment, I'm talking about principal plus interest, is $1,000, make sure you earn more than $5,000 a month in gross income. So we have seen and we have tested this on multiple occasions. We have seen that the sweet spot is 5x. So when you have that 5x pattern in place, you are more likely to be approved. Okay, because Navy Fed is just thinking, oh, okay, this person has enough room in their budget to accommodate another loan. Okay, and so it's important to really pay attention to that 20% rule. And so earlier, I was talking to you about not asking for too much cash, right? This is important. And I talked about what is the total installment, what is the total payment on a monthly basis. Here, it plays an important role. Remember that if you want to boost your chances of being approved for this loan, there are a lot of ways you can actually you can reduce your expenses or you can increase your income. So when we talk about the kind of income that Navy Fed allows for this $50,000 personal loan, they pay attention to earned income, right? So this is your day job, and this is probably most people's primary source of income, your 9 to 5. This can also be business income. So if you own a business and you're probably generating passive or semi-passive income, this could be considered for your income. So what I'm trying to say here is that you have different streams of income that could actually help you be above the 20% rule. Okay, so being above means that your monthly income must be at least 5x your total monthly payments, or you can be making money from interest. So interest income is very important. So when I talk about interest income, this is the income you make from lending your money out to other people. Okay, and this could also be dividend income. So this is basically cash that is distributed as a result of owning shares of a company. So you are an investor. A lot of people invest in the stock market, and you can get a dividend. You can get dividends every quarter. Some companies actually issue dividends once a year, twice a year, or 3 times or 4 times a year. Okay, and people actually live off of those dividends. It is totally possible. Obviously, the initial investments must be consequential, but it is totally possible. Okay, and in some cases, Navy Fed will also consider the co-signer's income. Okay, so consider adding a co-signer's income if you want to have a co-signer in the loan. So what I'm trying to say is that, again, the 20% rule is very critical, because if you're able to meet that rule, to comply with that rule, Navy Fed is more likely to approve your loan instantly, because they will see you as a lesser risk. Hack number 4, boss, I want you to improve your credit score. Yeah, you've heard this 1,000 times from me and other people, but this is important. If you want to trigger instant approval, you better work on that FICO score. Yeah, the thing is that if your credit score is already in great shape, you may decide to move forward and apply for this $50,000 personal loan. But if your score is not where you want it to be, though, think about whether it's worth it to wait and build your credit before you apply. So depending on how much you can increase your score, you could save hundreds or even thousands of dollars in interest. Think about it. And the difference lies in the principal loan amount, whether you borrow $50,000 or you borrow, let's say, $1,000, right? So you got to think about that, boss. Boss, I'm saying you got to think about that. Your FICO score impacts your interest rates. Okay, you might be thinking it doesn't have a significant impact. It does have a significant impact. So when you're trying to, if you want to improve your credit score, you need to check your credit score to see where you stand first, okay? Because you can't work on something you have no idea about. Come on, boss. All right. So you really want to take the steps today now to start thinking about how to get how to check your credit score. You need to get a copy of the credit report to determine which areas you need to address. And when I'm talking about getting this credit reports, you can go to annualcreditreport.com. This is a website that Congress has mandated that allows you to actually see all three credit reports from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And the cool thing is, it's free. Or you can actually sign up for a service that allows you to monitor your credit report consistently and constantly during the year. I mean, I can think about Credit Karma. I could think about CreditWise. I can think about NerdWallet. I can think about Wallet Hub. There is a constellation of services. Even your current credit card issuer certainly has a service that allows you to monitor your FICO score. So avail yourself of that, okay? And you want to dispute inaccuracies on your credit reports. It's important if you see some, okay? And you want to get caught up on past due payments. Pay down credit card balances. This is important. And if you can, before you apply for the $50,000 personal loan from Navy Fed, I want you to avoid taking on new credit unnecessarily. Okay, this is important. You can ask a family member with a strong credit history to add you as an authorized user on one of their credit card accounts. So I'm just giving you how the game is played. I'm giving you the game plan to make sure that you get instant approval on this loan. It's important. Hack number 5, you want to lower your DTI. Boss, I'm talking to you. If you want to get the instant approval for this $50,000 personal loan, you better lower your DTI, your debt to income ratio. Boss, this is what it is. The thing here, what is DTI? I mean, you probably understand, or you probably have a vague idea. I'm going to clarify things for you. Let me shed light on this for you. Your DTI is very simple. So you take two numbers. You take your total debt, and you put it on top of it is a fraction. DTI is a fraction. So you have your debts, and you put it as a numerator of that fraction, and you put your income, and you put it at the bottom of the fraction, and it is the denominator of the fraction. So we have here what? We have the proportion of debt that you allocate. I mean, the proportion of income that you allocate to debt servicing. Let me break it down a little further. Let me take a simple example. Let's say you are making let's just say $10,000 a month. If you're making $10,000 a month and you have, let's say, all your total debt payments, they amount to $4,500. Your DTI is 45%. So $4,500 divided by $10,000 multiplied by 100%. So you get 45%. That's just what it is. Now, the thing is, you want to have a DTI that is below 33%, sometimes 30%. That really epitomizes financial responsibility. Okay. In other words, you're not living beyond your means, boss. You're not living beyond your means. You are living within your means, boss. You are showing Navy Fed that you are financially responsible, or you are working on it, that you are aware of the behavior that you have, and you know that your credit is important. So your DTI must be around 33% or less. And if you want to, let's say you want to lower your DTI, there are a few things you can do. You want to lower the interest on some of your debts. In other words, you want to negotiate with your lenders to see if they can actually shave off a few interest points of your APR. You want to extend the duration of your loans. This is also possible. It's part of a negotiation you can do. You can find a source of side income. This is important also, because the thing is, the DTI, you can actually lower it by either reducing the debt, or you can increase the income. Okay. And also look into loan forgiveness. I mean, this should be a path of less resorts, but it is something possible. Okay. And you want to pay off high interest debts. This is possible. You can also lower your monthly payments on a debt. Okay. Also pay attention to your non-essential spending, and you can look into a debt consolidation loan. So those are things that I'm just giving you a catalog of measures you can take right now to lower your DTI. I'll be right back right after this Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sort of Keyword Show. We are also having a conversation about the Navy Fed personal 50,000 personal loan, and I'm giving you the top 5 hacks that will help you actually get instant approval. Now, let's talk about 5 ways to pay off a loan early, because it's important that if either before you get the Navy Fed loan or after you get it, you must have a strategy. You must have a formula, boss. I'm giving you a formula. You need to codify success here. You need to codify planning. You need a code, a formula. You need logic to make sure that you are able to pay off your loan early. You are able to pay this loan early, to pay off this loan early, or pay other loans off early, because this has a tremendous impact on your credit score. Okay, and so the thing is, Navy Fed is going to give you a loan. This loan, maybe you'll get 25 grand or 30 grand or whatnot. And they will tell you you have to repay the loan amount every month. Guess what? I'm telling you right now, do not make monthly payments. You want to make bi-weekly payments. You want to make payments twice a month. And I'm telling you, this will actually increase your ability to pay off the loan early, but also shave off interest, the interest that you're paying. But this requires a plan, though. I'm not telling you just sit around and just, it must be part of a plan. For example, if Navy Fed wants you to pay, let's say $400 every month, what you do is you pay $210 every 2 weeks. So before you know it, that's $420 a month. And this adds up. Now, 210, the extra $10 is not a lot when you actually do it every 2 weeks. However, it will have a big impact on your ability to pay off the loan early, right? So I'm just giving you those strategies you need to think about. You also want to round up your monthly payments. If Navy Fed says, they want you have to pay $415.99 every month. What you want to do is, instead of paying $415, you pay $425 or you pay $450. It is totally possible when you do this on a monthly basis, because the distance, the delta between $415 and $425, which is like about $10, is not really much. It will not really impact your loan, your budget rather. It will not impact your budget that much. But guess what? It will have a consequential effect on your ability to repay your loan early. Okay, this is important. And you want to make an extra payment each year if you can actually afford that. You want to refinance in some point if you're able to find a better loan, a better rate elsewhere. And also think about boosting your income and put all extra money toward the loan. Okay, so those are things that you really need to think about to actually get yourself out of debt. And this is a long-term strategy that will help you out. Thank you, boss. So I want to quickly recap today's conversation. I was talking to you about the Navy Fed $50,000 personal loan, and I've given you the top 5 hacks to actually trigger instant approval. Number 1, don't ask for too much cash. Number 2, keep your open credit products below 5. Number 3, remember the 20% rule. And number 4, improve your credit score. Number 5, lower your DTI. And I ended up by giving you a few pro tips to kind of help you pay off your loans early. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I will speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.